In this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and review after owning this car for 20,000 miles. This is a 2018 BMW M2 LCI in Long Beach blue with a manual transmission. We'll start with the exterior. We'll just get right into it. I did this mod right here. So this is the M Performance grills, just black as opposed to chrome, how it comes stock. Here, I've added the M Performance spoiler, and I have a video. This is actually wrapped in Expel paint protection film. It was done by Dynamic Tint in Tempe, Arizona. And then Tyler, who owns it, he also put a ceramic coat over this. So he did a custom wrap on it. It just looks, you can't tell at all that there's PPF on this, but looks incredible. So as far as the exterior of the car goes, that's it. I think this car just looks incredible as it is from the factory. I've thought a million times about getting the M873 wheels. These are the 530. You can see why I haven't been able to change them. They just look incredible. These are the same diameter wheels that come on the M3s and M4s. They just fitted them into the M2. The M2 in the front is 2 inches wider. You can see by these flares here, and in the rear it's 3 inches wider than like in a normal 2 Series. But this thing is just unbelievable. I also have paint protection film by Expel on the entire front bumper, hood, quarter panels, mirror caps, and then I had to do the A-pillars, and then it cuts off right here about 10 inches up the roof line. You can see that line there. Also, this video is sponsored by Carly, and we will talk about that in a little bit. One of the best parts about the M2 is the exhaust. Now, this has the N55 motor. So in 2019 is when they went to the S55 motor, just a detuned version, what's in the M3 and the M4. I just like how this one sounds, and I also like how it looks from the back. So let's do a cold start, and then we'll do an acceleration. As mentioned earlier in the video, it's sponsored by Carly, which is an OBD port connector, so you can look at the diagnostics of your car. And one of the worries of buying a BMW is maintenance. You're able to do a lot of these checks on your own, so that way when you get a warning light, you don't have to worry about expensive maintenance. A lot of it can be handled right from your driveway. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to connect, and then one of my favorite features. To plug it in, you go to your OBD port on F87 M2s. It's right here. Plug it in, and you can see the lights that are lit up. So the Carly app has a feature where you can toggle the electronically valved exhaust on the M2, which the car does not have. The car decides when it wants to do that. So you're able to have the valves wide open to make it as loud as possible, so it can sound like this. So if you're interested in purchasing the Carly OBD port scanner, my link is down in the description below. And the app is actually free, and then there's also a paid version if you want to get more in depth. But this is great for beginners. It makes it easy to read, easy for you to clear codes, It's also nice, as you can see on the screen, there was a fault with the passenger seat, some random code, and it said to set a reminder to check back in 3 days, because that way, if you see the code continuing to pop up, you know that there may be an issue, and then you can either address it by yourself or take it to a shop. But either way, you have the knowledge of what's going on. So it's an awesome product. I'll be continuing to use it with my M2. I hope you do as well. Again, link is down in the description. So by supporting them, you're supporting me on the channel, and I appreciate it, and Carly does too. Now for a look at the interior of the car. I'd say one letdown when you're looking at pictures of the 2016 through 2018 M2s, it's these seats. Now, in person, they are very comfortable, and these bolsters even adjust. There are width adjusts with this button right here, and you press that, it tightens them, you press that, it loosens them up, or vice versa. It has lumbar support. This little piece here moves out. This is actually really nice for long trips. This extension just gives you more support on your thighs. And the car is just really well put together. You have this exposed carbon here. Manual transmission has the Alcantara trim here. There's also matching trim that goes along here, along with the stitching that kind of matches the Long Beach blue. Now, as I mentioned, it's the LCI model. So what does that mean? The dashboard here is updated. It's partially digital, so that looks great. iDrive 6.0 here, touchscreen, very responsive, very quick. It is touchscreen. I never use the touchscreen. I always use this. You can even spell out letters, and then it'll record them up there. So the media in this car has been great. The sound system is decent. Most of the time I'm not listening to music because I'm listening to the exhaust and the windows are down, but it is a Harman Kardon system, and it's pretty good. You also have more exposed carbon here, more of the blue stitching. Blue stitching also goes right here with the M embossed into the seats. And it's just a comfortable, nice place to be. The steering wheel is incredible. It has M badging there, as you can see. You can get M Performance parts that go all through this car. If this video gets 1,000 likes within a month of it being released, I will buy the M Performance exhaust for this car, and I will make videos on it. It needs 1,000 likes though. I think we can do it. There's also 3 drive modes. I'll show you those shortly. But other than that, it's a really simple, nice interior. You can fit people in the back, so it's a 4-seater car. And you can fit golf clubs in the trunk that goes straight across or diagonal. Generally, if I'm putting 2 sets of clubs in the trunk, I just fold the seats down and then slide them in that way. But the transmission is incredible. We'll talk about driving dynamics. Also, I don't have the sunroof. In this car, it's pretty rare to find an M2 with a sunroof because people are trying to have them as lightweight as possible. You get them for other reasons than having a sunroof. So that's a pretty rare feature on the car. Also something I didn't want though. Everyone wants to know is, if you haven't driven an M2, how is it to drive? The short answer is it's incredible. The shift feel is amazing. Also, a lot of you know that the M2 comes with rev match downshift. So when I'm in Sport Plus, it changes. If you're in comfort mode, it blips it. If you're in Sport, it blips it aggressively. And if you're in Sport Plus, it blips it the most aggressively. So I'm in 4th, I'm gonna put it into 3rd. Perfectly blips the throttle. So the shifting mechanism feels awesome. It's sporty and luxurious. The thing people ask about is how stiff the suspension is. It is stiff, it has to be, it's an M car. but it's also perfectly damped. It's not noisy or anything like that. The road noise at times can be a little obnoxious. Ultimately, that doesn't really matter. If you cared about all of that stuff, you would have gotten just a normal 2 Series or 3 Series or whatever. This car is about driving and enjoying it. Steering response is amazing. Really, the car should start out in sport mode. That's my only real complaint. You just have to hit the button and put it into sport. Because comfort mode, when you drive this car in comfort mode, it's really a letdown. You're like, is this it? When you put it into sport or sport plus, then the car makes more sense. So as long as you make those little adjustments, it's great. But the, God, it's just... It's such a linear pool. It's a single turbo compared to the twin turbo that's in them now. Apparently, and I'm just going off of what I've heard other people say, if you want to tune an M2, this is not the car to get. Get the M2 competition because of the twin turbo. It has extra cooling from the factory. There's a lot more that engine can handle over the N55. That's just what I've heard. I have no experience with it. I don't really care to tune this thing because I just love how it is from the factory. 365 horsepower, 349 foot-pounds of torque. Has an overboost feature that for 15 seconds it will take it to 369 foot-pounds of torque, and you have no control over that. You have no control over when that happens. It just happens when the computer says that it's right. I can't say enough good about this car. Now, those of you who watch the channel a lot, I talk a lot about selling it. The only reason I talk about selling this car is because it brings in no money for the channel. It's a very small following of the car. People love the M2. I think it's the best M car out there, but ultimately my Tesla videos bring in the money, and that's what I have to continue to make to keep doing YouTube for a living. If I started making videos on this all the time, my channel would crash. And I love my Tesla, but I do wish I could make more videos on this and be profitable, but as of right now, it just makes no sense. So if you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. So that's it, guys. I appreciate your support. Like the video if you haven't already. Like I said, if we can get this to 1,000 likes within a month of it being out, I will buy the M Performance exhaust and do some videos and reviews on that. But yeah, this car is incredible. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. I'll make sure to get back to as many people as possible. And personally, I feel that this is the best M car out there as far as driver feedback and feel of the car, because what made BMWs great was Model S Plaid. What made BMWs great was being lightweight and nimble and with the appropriate amount of power, and that's what this car has. And that's why the M2 is so popular. So thank you for watching. Thumbs up. See you in the next video. There's an M4 CS.